My name is Cassius. I'm a El Dorado alum. When I first had the chance to start talking to people, El Dorado was the first place was because I was there and I was like, hey, El Dorado doesn't get into that good stuff. It's all Eastwood that gets that good stuff. I want to get El Dorado that good stuff. So El Dorado was my first choice. Legit, like I have a story about that. Eastwood's so rich that they don't throw away empty bag of chips. They throw full bag of chips away. Someone took it. It was awesome.
Awful. Oh my god.
But yeah, when I first started there, I was not into theater whatsoever. I'd like to kind of tell this story. I was actually in band for the first 2 years, and then I joined guitar my last 2 years of high school. A lot of friends who were into anime, were into books, were into everything. I had a bunch of theater friends. I was surrounded and just kept missing the mark of theater. The one time I did help someone in theater, I was helping out tech and I was trying to drill something, and I broke the drill bit and I felt absolutely awful about it. I went to go tell the teacher, and then before I could do that, someone had already ratted me out, and I was like, oh, thanks, man. Now I can't even stand up to what I did wrong. So that was the closest interaction I had. That and sneaking in to go watch theater stuff when my friends were just there. Because when I was there, I kind of thought theater was fancy. It was like the high art, and I wanted to be punk rock. But then once I got out of high school and I started looking around for like writing mentors and writing teachers, someone in the community had shown me, he's like, I run a local theater troupe, but I also help with scripts. And I was like, great, I want to get into movie scripts. Then through that, we figured somehow the theater stuff was a lot easier to produce than films were. Then I just started writing, not knowing anything about how to write a theater script. And through all that, I ended up falling in love with theater, and I was like, oh no, there is punk rock in it. Okay, got it. It's just there's a lot of multitudes to it. I just didn't know anything because all my friends were weeds about musicals. Yeah.
They're like ogres.
Yeah, it was really fun finding that out. Some of my first writings were at a local theater. I did short plays, like 15-page plays. We did an on-running thing called Icarus Was a Rookie, where we would do like one-page, essentially skits. And so I learned a lot about like just quick storytelling, so much so that I ended up getting a grant from MCAT. There's a lot of work to it, but it was one of the bigger lessons I learned of just getting the play done. My writing mentor has been my saving grace as far as learning how stories work. But one thing I've noticed throughout my entire journey is that I've really enjoyed what El Paso has to offer. It doesn't seem like it much when you're just kind of getting out of school, but yeah, wow, there's a lot. The best way I can describe it, and I hate to describe it this way, but it's when you pull rock and you start to see all the little creatures underneath living. She's got apple in her mouth, so I'm able to do this, so she can't respond. But that's sort of what the El Paso art scene is. It's hidden a little bit, not because they want to be hidden, but it's just you have to go out and find them. But once you do, it's its own community of people living together and breathing together and creating like these crazy, beautiful things. And you start to see like, wow, this is actually what El Paso is.
That's a common misconception is that there's nothing to do here. We don't talk enough about how unique we are as an artistic community and how much we have to offer.
I was in college. It was community college. UTEP was way over my budget. I was in speech class because that's one of the classes that you have to take. And I really liked the teacher there. I was getting more into film. I was trying to figure out film, and I started watching a bunch more movies. And she told me, oh, they're looking for volunteers at the El Paso Classic Film Fest. And I was like, I've been to that one time. That sounds pretty cool. What do I do there? Oh, you just usher people. You just tell them where to go, where the movies are happening. That's it? It's like, yeah, that's about it. Okay, cool. What's the pay? Free. Oh, experience. Got it. Okay. And so I walked in there and I'm looking for the main guy, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm Cassius, by the way. He's like, oh, sweet. Carlos. It's like, nice to meet you. So I was like, hey, man, I really want to learn about film. And he's like, yeah, sure. Just hit me up and let me know. And then I kept getting more jobs here and there. And the more I stayed in contact with him, the more he was like, yeah, you're great. I'll teach you what I know. And I'll send him random messages about, so how does this work out? Or what's a good microphone to get? And he would send me a bunch of recommendations. And then I started gaining my skills well enough that I had the opportunity to create a short documentary for the PBS in El Paso. Once I sort of put myself out there and I started telling people and asking people, I want to be part of this film group, or I want to be part of this thing, I can maybe text this person and we can have a quick conversation about art, or I can go meet this person up at their gallery. They'll recognize me and I'll recognize them, and we'll have a huge talk about their art or their performance, or go watch their concerts. It is incredibly important that you go and try to make the time for that. Do that, and your friends will thank you for that. It is the greatest feeling in the world to watch your friends be at the event that you set up and that you started. Do that for them. They'll do that for you. That's like the biggest thing I can give to you guys.